Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. So, on what is Election Day Eve?
Yes.
Did you do the crossword?
I did.
And did you vote in favor of this crossword?
I would vote for it, yes. Although it's a little tricky.
Well, it was by Sid Sivakumar.
I know.
That's sort of built into the definition
I
of it.
suppose, yes. It took me a little longer than it usually takes me on a Sunday. But I did get it done, but I had a lot of mistakes.
Really?
I had to go through this about 3 times to find all my mistakes.
Oh, okay.
So my biggest one, and this is so...
Wait, I'm going to guess. 28 across. Make it tag.
No.
Oh, darn. I was so sure because that's where my mistake was.
Oh, I see. No, mine was 42 down. Experience serenity. And I wanted it to be at peace. But it wouldn't fit in there.
Nope. So you made a rebus out of it.
So I thought, well, maybe it's be a peace. Like a peace is one word meaning at peace.
You mean Piece? Be a piece?
A piece, yes. Like no, not like a piece where it's a pop or each. Meaning just like a piece, like a sea. You're at sea. You could be at peace, a piece. So,
okay, if you say so.
But then I ran into a problem where the C of peace was, because that crossed with 79 across, holds a grudge against, and I had recents. And I'm like, well, recents, that's not really an answer to that. And
Nope.
I finally figured out it was resents.
Yes.
So I had to change the C to an S.
So the piece had to go.
And so I thought, oh, it's not a piece. And then I figured out it's be at ease. Be at ease. And see, 61 across where I had the P was overs and unders. So I thought, oh, like reps in exercises or something, over and under. And so I had REPS, but then that P had to turn to a T. So then I had a RETS. So then that took me to 46 down. Taradiddle. I had no idea what that was. But I just started putting in letters there, and once I got to B, which didn't take too long, and it turned it into bets, which meant that taradiddle was a fib, not a fir.
Right.
I thought maybe some kind of fir tree, taradiddle. But it was fib. And then the puzzle solved. So that was my biggest problem. But I had problems in other parts too. But that be at peace, I just wanted it to be that so badly. But.
I started off with, so I knew 57 across. I'm sure you did too. Nest egg option in brief, IRA.
IRA, yes.
So I had that, and then so for 46 down for taradiddle, I thought it was a lie. And so I had lie in there for a while.
Well, it could be.
But then 46 across, Doppler effect phenomenon was frequency shift.
Right.
And so it became, I had FI, so I thought, well, it's a fib. So that gave me bets. And then, but I wanted it to be is at ease. In fact, that's what I thought of first.
Oh.
Experience serenity is at ease, but that doesn't really work.
No.
And it had to be at ease.
Be at ease. Yes.
But you see, the reason I wanted it to be not be at ease was because 41 across, word with a wave of a wand. So originally I thought it was going to be ta-da, and so because it ended in an A, the A of 38 down, island northwest of the big island was Maui.
That's correct.
So I had that second letter of Maui, the A was at the end, and I thought, oh, it's ta-da. You might say that with a wand after you've done a magic trick.
Right.
But it was abra.
Abra as in abracadabra.
See, I thought abracadabra was one word.
No, it is 2 words.
Oh, okay. I wonder what it means.
Abracadabra.
Oh, I'm not sure if that helps. But anyways, I eventually got B at ease. My mistake was my major mistake. I probably had a few others, but 10 down was let borrow, and I had lend to.
I started with lend, but then that didn't work.
It worked for me because I ignored 28 across, make it. So I had dag, and I thought, okay, dag, fine. And so eventually, once I had the whole crossword filled out and couldn't find the answer, I was, scouring all over looking for places. And there were quite a few places where I was a little bit wobbly on things, but eventually I realized that make it, dag, made no sense because I don't think dag is a word in any language.
I don't believe so.
Except the beginning of Dagwood.
Maybe.
And so I went, it's lent to, tag. Yes. And that's when I got the happy music.
Very good. Very good. Another place I made a big mistake was 26 across, racial justice initialism. And I put MLK, thinking of Martin Luther King. He was big on racial justice, but it turned out to be BLM.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, that one down. The B came out of one down, partner of go, grab.
Yes.
I immediately put down stop.
Me too.
And I held on to stop for a while.
No, I took it out because I wanted to put MLK there. So then I had Stom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, but you see, with stop, I could have one across the simple sugar. I went for sucrose.
Sucrose, me too.
Yes. And that worked out quite well, except for all the letters that didn't match.
Right,
And 3 down, the taste imparted by MSG, umami.
Umami, yes.
I thought MSG just sort of mimicked whatever food. It enhanced the flavor of whatever it was you were eating.
Yes.
So it wouldn't have a particular taste.
No, it has a taste to it. I think of it as being kind of salty. So I guess that would be more savory, which would be umami.
Okay.
It's not sweet. It doesn't taste sweet, but when you just eat it by itself, I think it just tastes really salty.
When are you even able to eat it by itself? I mean, do we have a stash of MSG?
No, we don't. But a long time ago, I think maybe I went to a Chinese restaurant and they had a shaker of it on the table.
Isn't it unhealthy MSG?
No, it's not unhealthy.
Okay.
But
I mean, they do put it in food, so you sort of hope.
They put it, in cooking. I think they put it in a lot of food in restaurants, but it's like salt. Too much is not good for you. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good things happening in the grid, but we probably should talk about the theme.
We probably should. The name of the puzzle was "Can I Have a Raise?" And there was a note that said, when this puzzle is done, read the shaded letters from top to bottom to get an appropriate phrase. Well, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different places in the puzzle, there was a configuration of circled squares and a shaded square. And the circled squares, there would be circled squares on either side of the shaded square going across. These are all going across. But above the shaded square, there would be another circled square. So if you solved the puzzle correctly, if you read the circled squares with the gray square across, it meant nothing. But if you jumped up to the circle above the gray square, you would get a real word. So, for example, 23 across, land inhabited by the Altuk people was Alaska Peninsula. And the KA of Alaska was circled, and then the P was in the shaded square, and then the E was in another circled square. Above the shaded square, P, was the letter L that came from the answer rumble.
Right.
So if you read it KAPE from Alaska Peninsula, it means nothing. But if you read it KA, then jump up to the L and then down to the E, you get the word kale. So that was the theme. And we had, like I said, 7 of them. The first one was kale. And then we had dough, D-O-U-G-H. We had cash. We had tender, like legal tender. We had green. We had coin. And we had cheddar.
Yes.
And, of course, if you think about those words, they are all either slang or otherwise words for money in one way or another. Then if you would read the shaded squares, they spelled out P-A-Y-B-U-M-P, pay bump. So you had like this word meaning money with a little bump in it that you had to go up in order to find the actual word. Mm-hmm. So it was like a little pay bump.
Yep.
And that certainly relates to, can I have a raise?
Yes.
Because each one of those moneyed words had a raise in it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how they had all the different forms of slang. I guess, I've heard lettuce being used as slang for money, but not kale.
No, I've never heard kale, and I'd never heard cheddar.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I was waiting for cauliflower to make an appearance here, but
if I've heard dough, and of course cash and coin and tender, those aren't really slang. Those are just regular words for money in one form or another. But green, I've heard, mm-hmm. green. So
it just seems to me that, because of context, you can take any word and make it sound like money. You could say like, hey, you got any clips? And now clips is slang for money.
Well, I don't know if it really works that way.
Let's test it out with, hey, got any carrots? See, it works. I'm convinced myself anyway. Probably nobody else.
Right. I believe that this must have had a lot of debut answers in it. Do you know that? It seems like a lot of the words where the little pay bumps were very unique, like Alaska Peninsula. And then the one that had cash in it was 46 across. Doppler effect phenomenon.
That was a debut.
Frequency shift.
Yes.
And that had the C and then A bumped up and then the SH from shift to create the word cash. Then we had Gutenberg for 69 across, inventor of the printing press.
That was not a debut, and no. I'm not surprised either.
No, But what about the next one, 86 across? Psychological effect where my memories are recalled more easily when they match one's current emotional state. Mood congruence.
Yes, that was a debut.
Was that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had civic-minded.
Another debut.
At 93 across, conscientious of one's community.
Mm-hmm.
And that had the coin in it, civic, and then you jumped up for the C at the end of civic, jumped up for the O, and then the IN in minded. And then the last one was moved across the aisle, switched parties.
Another debut.
That had the cheddar in it, the CHED from switched. Then you jumped up above the P of parties to get another D, and then AR from parties for cheddar. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I thought, these have got to be new words. I've never seen mood congruence before.
Right.
I'm sure. So, were there any other new ones?
Let's see. Did we talk about rumball?
No,
So, rumball of the Old Bailey. No, I'm sorry. That's rumphole of the Old Bailey. Rumball.
20 across, boozy holiday confection.
Yes.
Oh, that was another one that gave me a little bit of a problem because I read that as boozy holiday concoction. So I was thinking it was some kind of drink. Eggnog, but it didn't fit. But it was a rumball.
We also had as a debut 15 down, device with a plunger, French press.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm going to assume that you knew immediately.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't.
But as a coffee drinker, I just figured.
Right, but I don't usually drink French press coffee.
Okay.
I don't have a French press.
Yeah, I figured it had something to do with making wine.
No. French press.
Mm-hmm.
It's a coffee, way to make coffee.
Let's see, what else did we have that was... Oh, they had a lot of good clues here. Let's see... 6 down, race from gate to gate was slalom.
Yes.
I was thinking that had something to do with an airplane, and an airline, but and I noticed they had 7 down. Texas City at the foot of the Franklin Mountains was El Paso.
Right.
And then we had 85 across.
Yeah.
Texas City that inspired Friday Night Lights was Odessa.
I noticed that too, and I thought, is Sid from Texas or something?
I don't know. So he is, as we've mentioned before, he is he's a MD and PhD student at Washington University in St. Louis.
That's right.
And just so listeners should know, Washington University at St. Louis, their acceptance rate, I believe, is 0. That's how elite they are.
Yeah, they are a very elite.
Right. And we tried to send one of our roving Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword reporters to go find Sid Sivakumar, but so far our reporter has balked.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we're still hoping, though. We want to have that exclusive interview. So and this was his 18th puzzle, and apparently his 19th is going to be coming up in the Super Mega Crossword in the 2024 edition of Puzzle Mania.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah, I read about that in Wordplay. It's a huge puzzle.
Right.
50
squares by 50 squares.
Yeah.
Takes. I hope they didn't make the clues too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
50 by 50. No one answered anything except maybe for Rex Parker. Let's see. What else was... for 31 down, I have made this mistake before. Eponym of a popular root beer brand. I went for Dad's.
Oh, I did too right away, but then I realized no, it was
Bark. Because I put down Dad's, but then I thought I saw Dad somewhere else in the grid.
Well, 30 across was member of the fam. So when I had Dad's in there, I thought, oh, it's Dad.
Yeah, Dad and Dad's.
Dad's, but no, it was Sib.
Yes.
Sib and Bark.
Now, I'm pretty sure Sid Sivakumar would self-censor at Dad versus Dad's.
Perhaps.
55 down. Performance with a sombrero was a hat dance.
That's right. And the one right next to it, did you get that right away? 56 blank Technica, 56 down.
Right, Ars Technica.
Ars Technica.
Website
I did not know that.
Website with gadget reviews. You know, I guess they have gadget reviews. I really just read them for, that's not really their forte. I mean, they're just sort of like general articles about what's going on in tech.
No.
Really interesting. Highly recommended. I probably read it like 3 times the day that I was doing this crossword. So yes, that was definitely a gimme for me.
Wow.
And I would expect that Sid Sivakumar probably contributes to it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. And right beneath that, we had 78 down. That was Jemison in the International Space Hall of Fame,
right.
May. So we had Ars Technica, which is all about science and the like, and then we had May Jemison right beneath.
That's right.
I thought 81 across was just terrific. Word following a comma in an alphabetized list, the. I thought that was just like one of the best clues for the. You take this really boring word. It's like, I don't even come up with a clue for the. And there it is.
Yep.
So I thought that was good. And then 71 down, returned call, ? Was an echo.
That's right.
That was cute.
Yep.
And maybe a little late for Halloween. 49 down, spirit filled was haunted.
Right.
Did you know, let's see, 83 down, currency used in Vatican City was euro.
I did know that.
Did you know that because you've been in Vatican City?
I have, and I bought souvenirs and I paid euros for them.
I wonder what, you figure the Pope would want like their own picture.
Pope money.
Yeah, Pope money.
Pope currency.
That's right.
No, it's euros. No.
I mean, it is in Europe, so I guess that makes sense.
Yes, it does. So no, I got that right away.
I was sort of surprised by that.
I liked 54 down, turning some heads, screwing.
Yes. And 60 across, which crossed that, It might be on a lot, but not worth a lot. Used car.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, nice sort of fun riddle there. Let's see. We had moved across the aisle was 115 across, switched parties.
Yep.
Little bit of politics there, not very much.
Well, it would have been a real challenge to find long answers that had various words for money minus one letter. That's what Sid would have to have been looking for to start this puzzle.
Right.
So switched parties had cheddar minus the one D. So, but then you had to think of a word that you put above it that had that letter in it. So it would have been a real challenge to put this together, I think.
But again, as a student at a university that has an acceptance rate of 0%, we expect nothing less.
He's got to be pretty sharp.
I can remember he's done, let's see, how many? He has done 8 Saturdays, so that's his preferred crossword, as it were. At least that's the one he writes the most for. And his Saturday crosswords have been really tough.
Oh, yeah.
As I recall.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it was fun.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that is it for today then.
All right.
So thanks everyone for listening. Hope you're enjoying this podcast. Let us know via the usual mechanisms, email or click on the send fan mail link. Okay. And we'll be back again with our cutting edge analysis of Monday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.